Look at those great baseball minds as we celebrate the upcoming spring season. You want to catch all that we throw at you? Oops! Hey, don't show that! We will point out all the best things that the upcoming season promises you. So track all the results. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. Hey, spring has sprung.
Just like that, we flick a switch, and it's on to the spring season. We're going to highlight or preview about half of the teams, and it is a true preview. It was supposed to be opening day today for both tennis and softball, but obviously Mother Nature had other ideas.
Yeah, I don't think, I'll be surprised if any sports get off this particular week. We're scheduled to do baseball on Thursday, and I think it's supposed to rain all day. Tennis is scheduled for Friday. We'll see how that goes.
Tennis is was also scheduled for today. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Right.
So they are in the most danger. Track and field is scheduled to start on Thursday at home as well. We will see what happens with what sports, and we'll try and get the remainder of the sports we don't preview this week. We hope to have in the next couple of weeks. Lacrosse actually just reporting to camp on Monday this week.
Yeah, so they're a little behind.
Tryouts. Well, the baseball team is scheduled to start the season, as we were talking about, with a pair of road games Thursday and Saturday. As always, they face some great challenges, and they will face some great competition this season, both in and out of the conference. And while they have a lot of holes to fill, they're excited about the group they have, and they're eager to get out on the field.
It feels good. I feel like it's a lot of different energy. Definitely miss the seniors from last year. It was a good group, but so far, so fun.
The Cardinals baseball team starts the season with a lot of question marks. They return a handful of guys with varsity experience, but they're trying to replace the majority of last year's roster.
We got 14 seniors last year that we're trying to replace. That's 7-8 roles on the varsity that need to be replaced. And it's going to be a kind of a mix and match at the beginning of the season, but you're seeing some guys starting to firm up their roles.
There's another large group of seniors leading the team this season, guys who have been waiting for their turn and are ready to show their stuff.
It's been intense. Everyone's working hard. We all have the same goal in mind. A lot of people are stepping up for leaders, not just us captains, so it's a good energy so far.
The Cardinals only returned one of their top 10 hitters from last season, and while their top 2 pitchers moved on, guys 3 through 5 got some really valuable innings last year. They all took some lumps, but they all learned some huge lessons.
Throwing as hard as you can isn't the only thing that matters anymore. Throwing a fastball right down the middle is getting a result and not very good things, so you gotta learn how to pitch, actually pitch.
With the experience they return and the potential they've seen coming in, the Cardinals are confident they'll be strong from the hill. They also like what they've seen at the plate and in the field, but only time will tell if what they see in practice is what they see on game day.
I always preach to the guys, it's not necessarily who we're playing against, but how we do things. If we show up, throw strikes, have good at-bats, and take care of the baseball, we're going to be in every game.
The Cardinals finished 7-17 last year and struggled with consistency in several areas, including committing a school record in errors. Veterans said that was trying on the team's morale, something they're hoping to avoid this season. They say whatever happens, they'll get through it together.
I feel like this year we've really made an emphasis on bringing everybody together as one team, no matter the level of varsity, JV, sophomore team. So I'm really looking forward to just having fun with my guys in the dugout while playing some good baseball with them.
Well, let's hope they get outside. I know they did go out on the new turf field, which was allowed after the track and field teams were out there on Friday afternoon. So at least they got some fielding in on a grass surface, but they had not been yet allowed on their fields, which, with the weather this week, who knows when that might be. You got to get them dry first.
Yeah, and they're obviously upcoming. They're on the road, as you mentioned, 2 games at Andover on Thursday, which I don't think they'll get in because it's supposed to rain all day.
At Minnetonka on
That's
Saturday?
possible.
That's very likely,
Absolutely.
I think, because they play on a turf field.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have some sports to talk about in the next episode if we get there in a week. We'll see.
Let's hope we do. Well, the Cardinals softball squad has a lot of reason to be excited this season. They return a very veteran squad ready to take the next step. Last year, the Cardinals had only one player with varsity experience. Still, they managed a respectable 9-13 record. Now, with almost their entire roster returning, they're hoping to be a contender in both the conference and the section.
Things have gone really well. We've got a lot of kids, a lot of seniors, good senior leadership, and I expect a good season out of them.
The Cardinals start the season with a lot of confidence. They lost just 3 players to graduation last year, and while that included their leader in innings pitched, they do return Abby Nest, who threw over 42 innings and led the team in ERA.
And softball comes down to the pitching circle, right? Like, what can you do in there, and how much your pitcher can dominate the game. And
the Cardinals' experience should show at the plate and in the field as well. They have a dozen seniors on the roster, and they're all determined to finish strong.
Having that depth like that is going to make all the difference this year. We're going to hopefully be better prepared and use that experience to go even further than we did last year.
The Cardinals haven't been able to get outside much at all, but they're keeping spirits as high as possible and working on everything that their surroundings allow.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder. I've been playing a lot more outfield this year, so as you can see, there's not really a right field over there, and it's kind of hard to get over the shoulders because we have all the nice scoreboards and stuff. But I think honestly our infield's doing pretty well.
The Cardinals know that every game will be a battle, and they'll most likely face adversity during the season. But that's another area where their experience will help them through.
All of us girls have played together for so long, the returning ones, so we know our roles, we know how we work well together, we know how each of us play, how to uplift each other.
Win, lose, or draw, this season will be the final chapter for a great Cardinals group. They hope it ends with title celebrations, but they're guaranteed, no matter what, it will be a memorable one.
my favorite is just, the game days, the memories we make. We take a trip out to St. Ben's and play a game on their field. I think it's the best field in the state. We're going to take an overnight trip to Duluth, play a couple games up there. Senior night is always a blast and should be real special this year. We have, I think, 12 seniors out right now, so we could have a full starting lineup of seniors on senior night. It'd be pretty exciting.
Should be an exciting season.
Yep.
Hopefully getting off the ground soon. They were actually, as we talked about earlier, supposed to start the season this afternoon. They were supposed to be hosting Maple Grove, and that would have been a great test to start the season. Maple Grove, always a great team.
Always.
They will be at Andover on Thursday, weather permitting, and then they are hosting Rogers next Tuesday. Again, everything weather permitting in the spring.
You just don't know because we get the rain, you get the little slap. All of a sudden now it's snowing again, and it's April, obviously. So, but a lot of enthusiasm, and it looks like they've got a lot to look forward to with this program.
Well, the Cardinal tennis team was supposed to play this afternoon. They could still have as many as 5 matches in by the end of this week. It's all weather permitting, of course. The Cardinals lost a lot to graduation, but they return a solid core that includes their first state qualifier in singles in nearly 20 years. They've also seen a huge surge in numbers, so things are looking pretty positive to start the season.
We got huge numbers, which is awesome.
The Cardinals have more than 40 athletes out for tennis, making this one of the biggest Coon Rapids squads in history in more ways than one.
Because he got 5 of his offensive linemen to come out for tennis. We got a kid that's 6'8" out, and then a couple kids that are 6'6". So it's fun to have a wide spectrum of kids out, and they're all working hard.
The Cardinals lost about 60% of their lineup to graduation, but the guys they have returning are committed to improving on last year's finish.
I think everyone's a lot better. We worked on our game all 3 seasons. Even this winter, we did different stuff. We were practicing in the field house 2 nights a week.
The Cardinals were 10-10 last year while going just 1-5 in matches that finished 4-3. That made the returners hungry for more, and it starts at the top. Sam Murillo had 18 wins at the top singles spot in 2021 and made it to state. And he feels he's starting this season even stronger.
Well, I've definitely improved from last year. I know I've been grinding hard all winter, all off season. Definitely hoping I can increase my record from last year, get more wins, and possibly go to state again.
In all, the Cardinals have 6 guys who played significant amounts of varsity last year, and what makes this group really unique is that they don't have a single senior on the roster. The Cardinals are confident they can take a step forward this season, and still, it will only be a beginning.
I think I look forward to having like just such a young squad and we're competing and knowing that we'll all be back next year.
That's it's very promising. And Sam
Yeah.
Murillo, pretty special player.
He really is.
You know, we've been talking about him for years. As a middle schooler, they were trying to they did a petition to try and get him into the varsity lineup. And as a seventh grader, and that failed. And then he lost his freshman year because of COVID. Last year as a sophomore, he comes in, he has 18 wins, I believe.
Yeah, 18.
And makes it to state. First guy, singles player to make it to state in 20 years. And here he is. He's hungry for more. He says, you know, I just want to improve on that. And that's setting the bar pretty high.
Well, it says a lot for that young man. Obviously, with 18 wins is a lot
in a strong conference and section.
Yeah, absolutely. And for him to say, you know what, that's not good enough for me. I want to better that mark. And I love the fact that the numbers are big for this squad, and the fact that they don't have a senior. They've got opportunities for this team to continue to grow.
Yeah, it should be fun to watch. Weather permitting, they will host Champlin Park on Thursday, Park Center on Friday, and then we'll have the Cardinals Invitational at the Pivot Courts on Saturday. So they should at least get a couple of games in.
Let's hope so.
Saturday, I think they've got a really good chance. Really, Friday as well. Looks like all of our precipitation should be done by Thursday afternoon.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you never know in this state. Well, the track and field teams are set to open the season at home on Thursday, weather permitting, of course. The Cardinals boys team struggled last season after losing 2020 due to COVID, but now things are turning in the right direction. They have a more veteran presence at the top. They've got a lot more friends on the field to help them vault forward.
Our team's pretty much almost doubled in size, and it consists of a lot of young guys.
The energy on the track this year is electric. After losing 2020 to COVID, the Cardinals' numbers were near historic lows last season. Now there's a lot more bodies and a lot more talent everywhere you look.
I think that just shows that people are enjoying the sport and they're getting their friends to come out and have fun with them and work hard so that they can improve and just become more physically fit.
The Cardinals lost only 4 seniors to graduation last year, so they have a lot of experience coming back. And the veterans are excited about all the new faces they're seeing and how they can all help move the program forward.
Really young, but I think we're looking really good. We got a lot of athletes, a lot of new athletes. We've got a lot of potential, and as leaders, we're just trying to teach them up and give them everything we got.
It may take a bit to find the right fit for all the new athletes, but thankfully, they'll have a full schedule this spring with no restrictions. And for most of the Cardinals, race days are what the sport is all about.
I'm most excited to enjoy meet days with everyone. Just another chance to end my senior year, end the school year, hanging out with people at meets, talking between races, chatting with other teams, and all the stuff in between the actual running.
A lot of the guys are multi-sport athletes, and they see a lot of their competition in different events throughout the year. The grueling Northwest suburban schedule helps them all push one another to be better.
You know, we just do it to compete. We like to compete, and it's fun. We're all friends, you know, maybe not when we're racing, but when we finish, you know, we're all high fives and smiles with each other. So it's just lots of fun competing with each other.
For several of the Cardinal leaders, this is the end of an impressive high school career. And they're encouraging their younger teammates to enjoy every minute and push to the very end.
And try and get people to just have fun and do their best.
It's all you can ask. And,
all you can ask for.
You know, a pretty strong group at the top. I was a little bummed because with how many we did, and we did all the track interviews and the tennis interviews all on one day, and we did not get a chance to talk to Russ Sullivan, which was disappointing because he always has great insights to add. But his team looked very good, and the guys are really, really positive.
Well, I had a chance to talk to him at basketball just at the end of the season, and he was inquiring when are you coming out to do the preview for track. I said, we'll get there. He says, we can be outside for you if ever you want. But he's really excited about this year, and he's excited about the numbers and what the potential for this team has.
He did make me run a hill with the guys.
Oh, that was good. It's a good thing I wasn't there. I would have thrown up.
Well, the story is very similar for the girls track team. They have some solid veteran leadership and a whole lot of new faces. It's kind of amazing what a year can do. Don't forget, this time last year, COVID restrictions were just beginning to ease, so track and field teams struggled to get kids out. Now that things are back to at least almost normal, kids just want to get back outside and play.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good season because we have the numbers to back it up, and we also have a lot of good runners returning.
The Lady Cardinals returned most of their top finishers from last year's section tournament, including state qualifier Kennedy Martinson. But they also have a ton of new athletes who are eager to become a part of the team and help them move forward.
We really only have, I think, 18 girls that are juniors or seniors out of 70-plus girls. So, what we're trying to do is really focus on getting through a good solid year this year, get them developed, see what we can do.
With numbers comes depth all over the field. Events where the Cardinals normally have 4 or 5 athletes, they now see double digits.
Because we want everybody to try everything. We have a lot of events in track, so the big thing is try everything. So take a practice at distance, go to sprinters, just get into it. And don't be hard on yourself. A lot of people can start running, get really hard on themselves right away, and that's definitely something we want to discourage.
The extra numbers means extra competition every practice, which hopefully translates to running faster, jumping higher, and further. And with a new section alignment, it could all add up to more Cardinals going to state this spring.
But there's still really good teams, but it's only 8 teams versus 15 or 16 teams. So it's, there's a little bit more opportunity.
And taking advantage of opportunities is what these Cardinals are all about. They know this team gives them a chance to meet a lot of new people and better themselves while driving for that state meet goal.
Greatest takeaway would probably have to be the people and getting to know other people from other grades and getting to know their experiences through track.
I also look forward to just getting better throughout the season. I think track's a fun sport like that where you kind of you get to see yourself improve, and it's hard, it's on the sheet.
So the Cardinals are a big team full of young athletes bringing fresh talents and enthusiasm to the program, and a great group of senior leaders looking to finish their careers as strong as possible.
Last season, last time to get everything out there, leave it out on the track.
So the track and field teams should be hosting Centennial on Thursday, weather permitting.
Yeah, it's kind of the theme.
And then next week they'll be at Forest Lake. But all up and down every single sport, and I suppose it happens every year. But I end up talking to a lot of multi-sport captains. It just really struck me as I was talking to the 2 track teams, how many of them have been multi-sport athletes,
right.
Multi-sport captains for multiple years, going back, especially when you look at cross-country running, the Nordic skiing. These are, sports where they get into it in 7th, 8th grade. So that's a really long career for some of these kids.
It really is. And I look at the fact that, again, good numbers for the girls team, a lot of good runners, and they're pretty excited about. Denny Greeney's been doing this forever. He doesn't change. For a 70-year-old guy, he looks really, really good. I'm kidding, Denny. I know you're only 68, but so we kid on this show.
So the other 4 programs are supposed to be getting the season started next week. So both boys and girls golf have events scheduled for next week on the 14th. The boys have a couple of tournaments at Bunker Hills on the 14th and the 19th, I believe. We'll see, what they're able to get in, obviously. Girls are at Bunker Hill or at Shamrock on the 14th, and then they go to Purple Hawk for an invitational on Monday the 25th. Boys and girls lacrosse both supposed to start next Thursday as well. For the boys team, they'll have a home game over at Spring Lake Park. Don't forget they're the Catbirds when it comes to boys lacrosse again. Coon Rapids Spring Lake Park team back up. So they'll start the season over at Spring Lake Park against Anoka a week from Thursday the 14th. And then they will be home at Coon Rapids Stadium to host Andover on Wednesday the 20th. For the girls team, they start at home against Blaine next Thursday the 14th, and they're at Spring Lake Park on Monday the 18th.
Well, I think
we hope to most likely talk to the golf teams and have them at least for next week. We may just skip next week, depending. If we don't,
well, we may not have any sports to report on.
Correct. If weather kind of knocks out all of the competition, we may just skip next week, and we'll pick it up on Monday. What is that?
So it would be the
18th.
18th. Yeah.
There's a look at where we hope to be over the next couple of days or week. We're going to be at the baseball game on Thursday, weather permitting, possibly at tennis on Friday, and then baseball again against Rogers on Tuesday next week. Everything is weather permitting. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Saying good night.